Hello guys, and welcome back to a brand new Two Ordinary Guys video. And today, nothing really happened on my journey. There was nothing really to document, but I really wanted to record a video because I enjoy them. So I asked on my social media if anyone has any questions, and I thought I'd address some frequently asked questions on the channel. So this video gives me the opportunity just to talk to you guys, ask any questions that you have, and any queries that you might really have, And I thought it'd be quite a good video. So today, anyway, after this video, I'm going to the German market, which I'm going to be vlogging on my second channel. So if you would, I'd really appreciate it. Go over to my second channel, give it a nice subscribe, and turn the notifications on because I'm going to be uploading more and more on that channel anyway, so you will then be notified when I do upload, so that'd be really good. That video should be on tomorrow, but we'll see with my schedules. It's all over the place at the moment. So anyway, let's get in the video. So make sure you like and subscribe down below, and like I said, let's get into it. All the questions are on my phone, so I'm going to be reading off the phone and addressing them. So Luce_Smith, go and follow her on Instagram. She's also studying Paramedic Science, just going into her second year at Staffordshire University, student paramedic, and she's also documenting her journey on YouTube, so I'll leave her name in the description below. She says, was your nursing interview process similar to Paramedic Science? Now, for the University of Worcester, for Paramedic Science, we had a Maths and English test, the same as we did for nursing, so that's kind of the same. For nursing, we had a scenario where you had to, I can't really tell you because it'll kind of give it away and I might get in trouble, but Paramedic Science didn't. We had a group activity, so we had to build like a tower with a group, so we're put into groups of, I don't know, 4 or 5, and then we had to build a tower out of the equipment that we were provided. So I guess nursing, we had Maths and English and then a scenario, and we're put into pairs. Paramedic Science, we kind of had a team building activity where we had to build something. That was at the University of Worcester anyway, and then we had the one-to-one interviews after that for both of them, so that kind of makes sense. Some people had Maths and English tests for the University of Worcester Paramedic Science, but majority people didn't, so we're kind of 50-50. I think they tried the Maths and English test and then just sort of scrapped it. But yeah, they're very similar in some ways, but in different ways they weren't, because obviously nursing was more focused on person-centred care, the 6 C's, kind of quizzing you about the nursing standards and stuff like that, if I've read any articles and stuff like that, whether Paramedic Science were more about why you want to be a paramedic. So they'll kind of split, but in the same way the schedules were kind of the same, if that makes sense. I have _S1. He made my channel art for my channel, which I greatly appreciate. Thank you so much. And he said, what was the worst thing about the Paramedic Science course? Honestly, if I could be really honest with you guys, there wasn't anything bad about my Paramedic Science course. I thought it was run really well. There were so many things that I could say that was really good about, and the only thing that I could probably say, and it wasn't to do with the course, I think it's just the competitiveness of the course basically, is when we go on to placement and stuff like that, the lack of shifts sometimes with your mentor can be quite difficult to have. So when you go into the ambulance service as a student at university anyway, you're assigned a clinical team mentor. Now he or she looks after you during your 3-year study at the university and on placements. In my experience, I didn't have many shifts with that mentor, so sometimes I used to struggle because I used to have different crews and stuff like that. So when it used to come to having shifts, I wouldn't know who I'm working with. So I guess the bad thing about my Paramedic Science course could be that they can improve the mentorship, but I don't think that was the course in general. I think that was just because how competitive it is as a student, and the lack of mentors in the ambulance service, really. What was the best and worst thing about Paramedic Science course? That was by _student nurse Soph _. Like I just addressed to you, the mentoring could be improved. The best thing, obviously, is you're going out on the road, responding to emergency calls as a student paramedic. I mean, that was just my dream to do before. The experience that you get, the exposure that you get, you never know what you're going to do on a day-to-day job. The experience that you got at the University of Worcester with the Paramedic Science lecturers, I don't know how many years combined there are in the service, but it's very, very many. Some are still in the ambulance service, so they're still stationed in the ambulance service. They still do shifts. I can think of 2 or 3 of them actually that still pick up shifts in the ambulance service, and I think it's good to have that, because it's great to have the knowledge, or that the University of Worcester offer, but also if they're still having shifts, they can kind of still bounce off you and stuff like that, and sometimes you might even be placed with them on shift, which has happened before. I have _S1. What's the one thing Paramedic Science has taught you about yourself? Obviously, when I went into Paramedic Science, I thought I was going into a career that I wanted to do, because that is what I wanted to do from a very, very young age, probably 8, 9. I've wanted to work in the NHS. From about 11 onwards, I wanted and really was interested in the ambulance service because of the title that you had as a paramedic. It was very, very respected. I used to like that, and I thought I would like the diversity of it, going to different jobs and not knowing what you're going to expect and stuff like that. But when I worked at the care home when I was 18, I picked up that passion for patient-centred care and person-centred care, and I didn't realise how much I really, really enjoyed working at the care home until I was about halfway through my first year as a student paramedic, that I thought I really, really miss going into work, knowing what I'm going to go into, knowing that I'm good at this, and that made me think that I wanted to specialise in something, into an area that I would be like an expertise in something like that, and that's why I chose nursing. I think Paramedic Science has taught me that even though sometimes you're destined to go to somewhere, or your dream is set on something, sometimes it might not be a dream, but that dream that you supposedly had will destine you in the right direction. And I think that's what life is all about: trying things, working really hard and setting goals, but sometimes accepting that the goal that you originally had isn't what it's supposed to be, and having that courage to say, no, I'm going to follow my dreams no matter the consequences. And I think that's what Paramedic Science has taught me to do, and I'll be forever grateful for the Paramedic Science team and the course for allowing me to do that, and hopefully, and I know I have make the right decision for nursing, which I'm really, really excited to start in September. I hope that answered your question. What made you want to change over to nursing? That was also an _student nurse. So again, she's answered another question. Like I just said then about the care home and stuff like that, wanting to specialise in an area, but also I used to struggle on shift as a student paramedic, because we would drop the patient off and then we would leave, and I can remember countless nights wondering what has happened to that patient, and it didn't used to affect me, but I feel as though as a student nurse I could really use my interpersonal skills to my best of my ability. The skills that I've picked up at the care home, I can enhance on them to levels that I never thought I had to, and like I said, to specialise in an area or field, and become my passion at the moment is palliative care nursing. But as a student nurse, you are subjective to many areas of nursing that I probably will fall in love with. The community, people have said I would be good at, and I could see myself maybe working in the community, so I'm looking forward to placements in that area as well. But also I want to go into mentorship, so you're mentoring students and making them become the best that they could possibly be, and that's where my interest lies. So I felt as though my life was pushing me towards nursing, and I had to reach out and take it, really. Emma Sockets, with 2 T's at the end. Now you aren't doing the Paramedic Science course, where do you see yourself in 5 years? So, in 5 years' time, obviously 3 years would be me completing my degree, if all goes well. I'll spend a couple of years as a newly qualified nurse, hopefully, and will be in the area that I choose to specialise in, probably at the end of these 3 years. As it stands at the moment, I would like to go into palliative care nursing, but like I said in the previous question, I might not enjoy palliative care nursing when I actually go on placement there, and I actually might fall in love with another area. So definitely in the probably 3 years prior to this, I see myself going into an area where I would like to be specialising in 5 years after that. So definitely for that. YouTube wise, I would like to have, by the end of this year, and it's very, very, not end of this year, end of next year, sorry, 10,000 subscribers, which is a hell of a lot, but I'm really, really passionate about YouTube, and I really like to, this network gives me the opportunity to voice my opinions and voice my experiences on things, and I feel as though I've had so many messages, people telling me that I've inspired them and stuff like that, and I feel as though this YouTube is really worthwhile doing, and I really, really enjoy it. So that's where I probably see myself in 5 years' time, without mentioning a load of other stuff, but I'll probably be here all day. Emma Socket again, what was the hardest part about switching courses, and what was the hardest part about switching courses so far? Recording this video, not this video, the video beforehand was probably one of the hardest. Telling my family members and friends and Lucy was very, very difficult, because I felt like I was disappointing everyone. Silly, I know, because it's just how I thought. I felt as though that because I was documenting my journey that I couldn't drop out. And also, sometimes, since I've dropped out, all my friends are going to lectures, having their OSCEs, having their exams, and I'm not a part of that, and that has been difficult, but I know it's for the best, but it has been difficult, I must admit. Georgia_Hargrove, do you feel you're on the road to the career you are suited the most now? 100% yes. I couldn't be more determined, passionate, but also I know that I've made the right decision, because when I close my eyes now, I can't expect me to do anything else other than nursing. And the role of a nurse, the expectations of a nurse, and the responsibilities of a nurse is something that I thrive upon, and that's me being honest. Well, I can't see a name because I've had to screenshot these, because basically I put the poll on Instagram and it was running out, so I had to screenshot it. Well, I think it's 03272. I'm probably wrong about that. Help a fellow student paramedic out here. University has broken them. If you would like to, Will, please message me on Instagram. In fact, after this video, I'm going to message you, so don't even bother. I'm going to message you, because I know the stress, I know the emotional stress, physical stress that a paramedic science course can do, and I want to reach out to you. So don't worry, I'm gonna reach out to you. Paige_Lockwood, is it true that when you do CPR you can hear and / feel the ribs cracking? Yes, you can feel the ribs cracking. If you picture doing CPR on a 95-year-old woman that's probably got osteoporosis, when you're pressing down a third of the chest at the sternum, you will probably crack the ribs, because the bones are really brittle and they're going to break, basically. But in the meantime, you are keeping that heart beating for the longest time you can, so it's kind of worth it. You can repair a rib, but you can't restart a heart without CPR, a defibrillator, so it's worth it. But yes, you do. But the adrenaline is so high in that instance that you just switch off. I mean, I've only heard it once, and I've done CPR 6 times, and I only heard it once, and it's not like it's haunted me. I heard it, I felt it, but at the same time, my mind was on bringing that patient back, and it just kind of washed over me really. But honestly, if you want any more information or stuff like that, please message me and I'll help as much as I can. Caitlin Haynes _18, where are you going to take your degree? Are you going to work in the community? Very good question. Like I mentioned before, my area of specialty interest at the moment, I haven't actually started my degree until September. At the minute I see myself going into palliative care nursing, but community is very, very much up there, and I can't wait to start because it really, my work ethic and what I enjoy, community very much is that. And I like going into people's houses and building a rapport, meeting the same people and stuff like that. So then I probably would love community nursing, and when I do start, I can give an opinion on that. But at the moment, I haven't had any experience in the community, so I will get back to you on that one. But at the moment, palliative care nursing is where I would like to kind of be at the moment. And you've also said, Caitlin, do all paramedics do 12-hour shifts, or can they do 9-hour shifts instead? I have never, I'm going to be honest, seen a paramedic do a 9-hour shift, only if they've over their hours. I think the earliest time you can start is 5:30 until 5:30 in the morning, 5:30 in the evening, and that works at 6:30 until 6:30, 7:30 till 7:30, 7 till 7, 8. So they're all 12-hour shifts really, days and nights. Yeah, I hope that helps. I'd be very, very unlikely if you get a 10-hour or a 9-hour shift in the ambulance service. I really, really would. Jessica 19876. Hello, smiley face. With you transferring course onto nursing, will you have to start from year 1? Good question, Jessica. I have addressed this in one of the videos. I don't know if you've seen, but I have, because of my year 1 in Paramedic Science. Sorry, I really need a drink. My mouth is really dry. Yes, because of my year 1 in Paramedic Science, the modules might be transferable. So I had to apply for basically year 2 entry for nursing. I was given an unconditional place in year 1, but a conditional place I have to apply for. It's kind of like mitigating circumstances, so I applied for that, and they will look into the modules, see if they're transferable. It could be up to a couple of months by now, so I might find out probably February, March time. But I'll find out whether I'll go into year 2 from that claim. So if the modules are transferable, then they'll put me into year 2, which is really exciting. So definitely stay tuned for that one, really, and hopefully you follow the journey. McReady 93, would you still recommend doing a paramedic degree? 100,000% yes. The Paramedic Science has taught me things in many, many ways about myself, whether I'm up to standard, whether I can see the stuff that I can see and thought I could see, and it's kind of enabled me to say yes, I can see the stuff, but also it's tested me in ways that I didn't think I would have to be tested on placement during the course. But most importantly, the lecturers have been brilliant. The anatomy and physiology that I've learned has been second to none, and I'll never ever forget the skills, and they're so transferable. It enables you to be the best paramedic you can be, and if you want to go and be a paramedic, definitely consider the paramedic courses, University of Worcester. But it's enabled me to find where I want to be in the future, and that's the best gift that any course can give. It's enabled me to put my future first and see where I want to be in 5 years' time, and I think that's what a good university course can do. It makes you look at where you want to be in 5 years' time. It can't always, and sometimes won't be that course, but they give you the offer on the table. There's actually this way you can go, and this is where they can take you, and that's where the supportiveness of the lecturers come in, and that's why I would 100% choose the University of Worcester, and I can recommend the University of Worcester to anybody. It's such an amazing university. Emily Finney Moore, what in your opinion is the hardest part of studying a healthcare course? There's quite a lot of hard things about studying a healthcare course. Placement for one, you'll be starting placement and it could be at 5:30 in the morning, so you have to be up very, very early. In the meantime, you have to manage assignments and exams in the meantime of going into shifts, unpaid. When everyone is enjoying themselves at university and doing social events and joining maybe the football team and stuff like that, you might not be able to do that because you have a commitment to the course. It's longer hours, so you finish later in the year, you start earlier, so it's more about the intensity of the course. It's a lot more intense than normal university courses, so definitely the intensity really, and you are subjected to see some horrible things, so you need to consider your mental health as well, a lot more than other university courses would have to. Jessie_May_9, when do you start your nursing course? I start my nursing course in September, so next year, September, so 2020, Jesus Christ, 2020. And I could be going into year 2, but at the meantime it looks like I'm going into year 1, but I need to put a claim in, like I said, so hopefully I can go into year 2, but I don't really mind because I'm going to go into a career that I can see myself in 10 years' time, so it is a year, what's a year? The only problem is about the finance side, so technically if I did go into year 2, I would actually be £9,000 better off from my tuition fees. My maintenance loans are also about 8,000, so another 8,000, so that's 18,000. That's without living costs, and my accommodation is £360 a month, so I would much rather go into year 2 for the finance side, really, I'm going to be honest. RX, so it's Robbie with an X, 22. What A-level/college courses did you do? So I finished school. I'm going to be honest. I got a C in English language, a D in English literature. No, swap that. I got a C in English literature, a D in English language. I failed my maths. I got a C in applied science, but failed triple science by a considerable amount. I didn't do very good in science, and I was bullied throughout school. I got a BTEC in catering and a BTEC in engineering. This means that for some people might think that I'm not going to university because my grades aren't that good, and my grades weren't that good for many reasons. For me, I could put my head and mind to something if I enjoy doing it, and I can see myself doing that in 10 years' time. With maths and English, I was put in the bottom class of maths and English because I wasn't very good. I suffered with dyslexia all the way through school, so I struggled throughout school. I was bullied because I used to have a lazy eye, and still do sometimes. When I'm tired, it sort of just drifts off. And I've got a birthmark here, so people thought that my mum used to put a fag and cigarette out on my head. That was a typical one throughout school. And also people used to take the mick out of my lazy eye. And also when I considered going into the ambulance service at such a young age throughout school, people laughed at me because of my science and English and maths grades. They just laughed and said it's impossible. So I then moved to Coventry. Well, I moved to Coventry, but I took my studies to Coventry, so it was kind of like the next town, and I did level 2 public services. I then found out that actually you can't go to university as a standalone public service course, so public service enabled me to get my level 1 in English, BTEC, English functional skills and maths functional skills. I then, because I passed my level 2 functional skills, it enabled me then to complete a level 3 extended diploma in health and social care, which is equivalent to 3 A-levels. So already so I completed that with D-star D, which is equivalent to A-star AA. So from 3 years, I went from English, maths, failed, science, just passed, and I had about 3 GCSEs, to completion of my level 2 public services, which give me equivalent to 2 GCSEs. So then I had 5 GCSEs. Then I completed my level 3 BTEC extended diploma in 3 years' time, and the level 3 extended diploma, I'm not going to say it was easy, but it was a lot easier than A-levels. from 3 years, I had 5 GCSEs, 3 A levels, A star, AA, and English and maths at GCSE equivalence level within 3 years. And I got into university, whether some people from my school really struggled to get into university, and they had quite good grades, but their passion, their commitment wasn't in there. So I hope that answers your question. That's what I did prior to university. My advice would be, if you do fail at school, it isn't the end of the world. Work really, really hard at school. Go to your local college and local universities, and where you want to go to university, and see what they offer. So if you're in year 9 and you're 10, picking your options, consider that when you apply for your options. But also, if you fail them, it's not the end of the world. You go to college, you work really hard, and you boost them grades up as best as you can, and really work hard. That'd be my advice. Sophia Rutter, your favourite memory from first year? My favourite memory from first year, for me academically, would be getting my B in my pathophysiology exam. Like I mentioned to the last question, I've never been the academically strong. The best I got was a C in English literature at school as in an exam. I struggle with exams. To get a B, just under an A, in my pathophysiology exam, Paramedic Science, year 1, was something I'll never ever forget. I put so much work in, and Lucy worked with me endless nights to boost my grade and stuff like that. That I walked in, and I've never felt confident enough going into an exam. And I can remember getting my results, and I was just cried my eyes out because I was so happy. And that would be, and I'm tearing up. That would be a memory that I would never ever forget, honestly. AFC SJ8. I'm a first year student, paramedic at the University of Worcester. Do you have any advice? First of all, well done on getting a place at the University of Worcester. You're going to absolutely love the university. My advice would be definitely time management. Write out on your wall, like I did, everything that you've got in that year. Never leave your assignments until late, because as you know, you will fall behind and you won't do them. Be committed to the course. The amount you put in, the university will give you double back. I found that. So if you give 80%, the university will give you twice as much back. So the more you put into the university and the more you ask the lecturers, they know a hell of a lot. So the more you attend lectures, you will get twice the amount back. And I've always found that, especially at the University of Worcester. I would also recommend going to the Hive and stuff like that. The Hive is amazing, and the resources there. For example, if you go onto My Day, you can go onto the live resources there, and you can literally type in a book, and it'll be there 100%. And you can go onto the ebooks on there. You can type in, for example, say if you're doing research on bariatric patients, you could type in research bariatric patients in the search engine, and it will give you a list of books where it says that title in there, and you can use that as a reference and a quote in an assignment for stuff like that. So definitely the resources that the university offer are amazing. But also speak up to your friends. Use your friends when you're on placement to speak up, because the last thing you want to be doing is struggling for our placement and no one knowing you're struggling. So speak up. There are a couple of things I could give you more advice on, but if you want to message me privately, I'll happily go through them with you. I hope that kind of helped and gave you a general kind of thing. Kai, full stop, Boswell. Looking forward to your video. Hopefully you procrastinated and haven't filmed anything yet. This is because he asked me a hell of a lot of questions towards the end. So I basically was going to record it yesterday, but I seen some people were asking me questions, especially Kai, so I kind of stopped for a little while so people can get their questions in. He said, important question, dogs or cats? 100,000,000% dogs. I love dogs, and I like cats, but dogs are where my heart lies. What other jobs interest you, not medical / care related? Very, very good question, actually. Now, I probably haven't got the brains to do this, but I've always wanted to go into property management. So, buying a property for cheap, doing it up, and then selling it on for more and renting it out. And I think in the future, if I commit to the course and have a good job, I think going into nursing, specialise in an area, maybe in 15-20 years time, when I have a little bit of money aside, I would like to go into property development and buying houses and then renting them out. That's what I would, if I had a job and would like to go into medical / non-care related, that would be kind of where I'd like to go, if that makes sense. How do you feel on Boris potentially selling the NHS to the USA? Will you go private? I'm going to be honest, it terrifies me. I hope he doesn't. Obviously, for a million and one reasons. If you look at the USA now, and you see the price that they pay for their healthcare, it is scary. People struggle enough in this country financially without having to pay for their care. I'm not going to go off on a tangent and rant about all that sort of stuff. That'll be for another video, hopefully. But yes, it is scary. I don't really want to think about where I would go if that situation happened, because I love the NHS so much, and I pledge my life to the NHS, working amongst the NHS. So for that answer, I don't know what I'd do. And will I go private? Yet again, I really don't know. I would like to stay with the NHS until I retire, and hopefully the speculation, it doesn't go through with it. But yes, it's scary. Okay, last question before I finish this video and kind of like nip it on the bud, really. Hi, this is from Pinge Victoria. Hi, here is my question, since it's too long for the box. Fair enough. Do you have any tips for someone who already has a degree and wants to study another one? I have no passion at all for my current field. What should I know before following my passion and leaving another field, possibly forever? Thank you for your great content. First of all, it's a massive decision to make, and I think it takes massive courage to say, you know what, I want to go somewhere else, basically. My advice would be, I don't know, you haven't said here where you'd like to go or currently what you're studying. So if it's back to university, which I think you did say, yeah, for another degree, go and go to an open day, ask the questions there, ask about the course information, because you might not, when you're saying you have passion for another thing, if you don't ask the questions to the course and you don't have a feel for it, you might really regret your decision. Find out all the information, find out what they do, find out if they do have placements, where they have placements, do you need to drive, what grades do you need to get there. You're saying you've got a degree, so you probably would get in. Also find out whether your degree would be funded. If you're going from Paramedic Science to nursing, your 3 years would be funded by student finance. If you're going from nursing to Paramedic Science, it won't, because nursing has the full bursary, as it's an allied health profession, as in Paramedic Science isn't classed as an allied health profession. So that'll be something that you need to consider. Is your university degree, would it be funded, because you've already completed your 3 years as a standalone degree. So definitely consider that. But also message me again. I will happily help out. Give any more feedback. If you give me a little bit more information about what you want to go and study, what you did study before, and I would definitely be able to help out a little bit more, if that makes sense. But yes, thank you guys. I hope these helped. I don't think I have any more questions. No, I don't think I have any more questions. I hope these helped. Make sure you like and subscribe down below. Make sure you go and follow my social media accounts out. Make sure you go and follow my second channel on YouTube. It's Kyle Sands, very generic. I'm going to the German market today, so I'll be vlogging my time there. So if you're looking forward to that and like them kind of videos, then go and check my channel out. I also record videos where it's about the degree, but it's not about my journey. So I might be going to an event or something like that, or on holiday. So if you are watching for kind of a bit more about me, then definitely go and check out my second channel. But thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Goodbye.